take like 5 minutes. Shit. Nigga. Okay. Okay. This will work. Okay, I'll begin shortly. Okay, hold on. Alright, okay, we don't have music. So today I am going to be talking about how do we save Gen Z, and this will also be about how to master your own universe and all that jazz. Um, this video is not directly directly aimed towards Gen Z people, but that's what I'm mostly going to be talking about. Um, so all right, where to begin? This whole stream, I don't know how long this is gonna go for. It's gonna be all about Gen Z people. I might be watching some videos, but so where to begin? So let's look at the issues with Gen Z. Gen Z has a lot of issues. Now some of these issues are unique to um, it's not unique. I can't fucking talk. Gen Z is not a unique generation. Millennials, Gen Xers, baby boomers, they all have problems. But there is a lot of things they have that others don't. So first off, this is more aimed towards later Gen Z, like not earlier Gen Z people. I probably will say if you're born 2003 and on, maybe. That's a good, yeah, 2003 and on. So, what makes Gen Z more unique than the other generations is they were I would say is the first to not grow up in younger Gen Z, not earlier, not like ones born in the 90s or anything like that. But Gen Z, like classic Gen Z, what you think of a classic Zoomer, they didn't grow up in a they did not grow up in a tangible world. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, we're always in reality and things like that, but they never grew up without internet access, or ever since they were a baby, they had a screen in front of them. Now, when I mean screen, I don't necessarily mean like a TV. A TV does not count. TVs have been around, you know, in households and stuff. TVs have been around since, in our culture, has been around since the 50s. Um, and so, yeah, baby boomers have grown up with TVs and stuff. So, that's not what I mean by when I mean screens, but what I mean is computers, specifically like phones, smartphones, and tablets and things like that, iPads. Uh, and so these people, they've always grown up around screens, um, grown up around too much technology and the internet, and they do not know a reality outside of that. And people that grew up in the 90s and early, I would say, actually just 2000s in general, I guess. Uh, Things like internet and stuff like that was around, but uh, not very many people had it, or it just did not take over our culture yet, because uh, the internet back then didn't have that much. Even the MySpace days, uh, like MySpace itself was not enough to get addicted to the internet. Um, but pretty much the invention. I wouldn't even say the invention. A lot of people point the invention of the when iPhone came out is when all this stuff ruined our lives. But in my opinion, um, it was more towards the 2010s is when a lot of this stuff started ruining our lives. So yeah, around the 2010s, I would say. Um, and so yeah, Gen Z, that's a huge issue. Not a very tangible generation. They never grew up in a household that did not have internet or did not have an extreme amount of technology, and so yeah, Gen Z has never had a moment where they never had a time where they had to wait. The most exciting thing of the day when it comes to entertainment is waiting for a TV show to come on, an episode of a TV show to come on. Like scheduling it, going out of your way, like, oh, at 7:30 p.m., the new episode of blah 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 show is coming on. They've never experienced that. Um, so yeah, and so Gen Z is not a very tangible generation, and so that is an issue with Gen Z. Now, uh, so when you grow up in a world like this, what type of person do you become? Well, if you've always grown up around a screen in front of you, you become, when you grow up, closed off, probably don't really know how to interact with people, probably don't know how to make eye contact, and also, yeah, that's a huge problem. Might be some issues with adjusting in the real world and things like that. And so, yeah, those are some issues. And yeah, I think that Uncle Ted was right that technology is probably not the best for all of us. Um, so, in the, I would say, later 2010s, um, mid 2010s is when uh, officially social media, all of this stuff, even this live stream we're watching right now, these dumb live streams, social media, TikTok, even TikTok was more, I think it's like 2018 or whatever. All this stuff officially took over all of our lives, even if you like it or not, and we're still in it. And so, social media and I would just say the cyberspace in general this is at this point we as human beings are more invested in cyberspace than the real world, and the huge issue with this is when it comes to doing things in the real world, you have to do stuff in cyberspace or else you cannot advance in life. If you are an entertainer, you have to have an internet following. There's no such thing as a word of mouth. Oh, I'm a comedian. I played at this and this club. Oh, I'm a musician. I played at this and this club. That world does not exist anymore. Fanzines, magazines, none of those things are a thing anymore. And so, but when it comes to regular work, when it comes to buying a house, when it comes to paying rent, when it comes to car insurance, whatever it is, medical bills, all this stuff, applying for a job, everything is online. To the point where a lot of these places, for buying a house and stuff, paying rent, um, if you ask for like, do you have a tangible paperwork, they look at you weird. But not just that, most places you have to do things on the internet. You cannot do a lot of things tangibly anymore. A lot of places, a lot of things will not let you do things tangibly. They will not let you. This is why if you ever go to a library, you always see old people at the library using computers, because old people do not give a shit about computers or the internet. Why would they? And so, you know, why would they give a shit? And so that's why you always see them at the library, because you have to do a lot of things with the internet. And it's to the point where you cannot survive in a Western society, maybe the world in general at this point, without having a cell phone. You cannot survive. You cannot get by. Um, and this is a bad thing. And whenever I see somebody that has a phone like they don't really use, somebody that does not give a shit about cell phones and things like that, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But you get shamed for having not just a cell phone, but not the proper cell phone. Also, yeah, people are elitist about phones. NPCs love Apple products. You know, that's how you, that's how you can spot. I mean, there's a difference between somebody that likes Apple products versus people that like Apple products in a status way. People like Apple products in a status way. You immediately know what kind of character they are, what kind of person they are, and they are not to be trusted as an individual. People that are consumers that make certain status symbols companies their entire identity is not to be trusted. They are evil. If you make Apple your entire personality, if you make Nike your entire personality, if you make let's say you're a gamer, if you make Nintendo your entire personality, you are spiritually broken. Why would you make a company your entire personality unless you were a spiritually broken person? I mean, this is a given, you know. So let's see, sip my tea. You are a spiritually broken person, and because of this, Gen Z is spiritually broken. If their entire life, their whole entire meaning of life, everything they stand for is connected to these companies, aka these apps, these websites, like Twitter, or sorry, X. Who gives a shit? Like, it's Twitter. I'm not gonna call it X. Uh, Instagram, TikTok. These things. People make these things their entire. These things are the most important things in their life, and so because of this, they are spiritually broken. You've come a long way from these troll videos you made when you were younger. I agree with everything you're saying. Why, thank you, John. John's an OG, apparently. Unless he just saw some of my older videos. They're still up. But I've deleted most of them. But anyways. You are a spiritually broken person. And so, yeah. So now, let's get a little more deeper when it comes to these apps. Let's say TikTok. Let's stick with There's so many, but let's just stick with like TikTok and Twitter. Twitter and TikTok have communities. They have subcultures essentially. Now, the funny thing about this is subcultures, there is subcultures on the internet. However, are these subcultures really subcultures? Because a subculture back in the day was a community in a specific area, a specific location, right? So, is things on the internet really a subculture if there's no specific tangible area that this subculture takes place? I could argue that, and now these communities are their own thing, but are they really subcultures? Uh, let's look at like, okay, for example, let's the punk culture. Punk in the late 70s, early 80s was specific culture, specific areas. You got the UK punk scene, you got the LA, you got the Washington D.C. Now, here's the thing: all of those communities, all those subcultures were different from each other. They did not consider them. They weren't considered the same. And hippie subculture, LA, the California hippie culture was not the same as the British one. Okay, but here's the problem with the internet: is everybody from everywhere can be a part of the subculture. So somebody from California, and somebody from Vancouver, Canada, and someone from Italy can be a part of the like incel subculture, for example. So it's even debatable if you can call these internet communities subcultures. Um, and so people are they live through apps and they have their own communities. Now, the issue with this is majority of these people have never met before, and they they never met before, so they don't know what these people are like behind the scenes or anything like that, and they put way too much trust, way too much in their word, and so these subcultures, that these communities that people live through, it becomes their entire life. The issue with this is there is no real world consequences, and they do not get anything out of it because there is no real world application to all of this. All right. Now I will say that talking to people on the internet about shared interests is way more productive than let's say playing the GTA 5, playing a video game. Let's say you're beating a video game. I think beating a video game is less productive than talking to strangers online about shared interests. It is less productive. However, there is a real world. You don't get any real world results from doing things that are purely online that will not affect your tangible reality. And so what happens is after a while people get depressed, people feel like they're wasting their time. Well, if you have a soul. Now, If you don't have a soul, you are locked in. You like being isolated. You like living, pretty much being what's that anime? Serial Experiments Lane from that anime Lane Serial Experiments. That's who you are, and you enjoy that. Now, um, there's these people that enjoy this lifestyle, and they're called neats. Neats have always been around, but thanks to the how the internet has taken over all our lives, and people on the internet, the communities of people feeding into their lifestyle, bragging about it, neats are everywhere. I know so many neats. Now a neat is somebody that does not work or go to school, but that's not the issue. It's people that intentionally do never want to work, never want to go to school, never want to do anything. It is people that don't even want to have an artistic career. It's people that don't even want to travel. It's people that don't want to have a life, pretty much, and they're proud of it. So they live on Discord, talking to strangers. That's their entire life. Um, and so, or you could call them basement dwellers, but they're neats. Uh, and these are people we call bugmen. Bugmen are people that are nihilistic and think there is no point in life, so they live through the internet and consuming things. They're kind of hedonistic, but there's no point in life. I'll just lay around all day and go on the computer and not do anything with my life. Like I said earlier about people that make companies, brands, their entire existence, and these websites and everything. These are spiritually broken people. Broken. And okay, let's get on to the next thing. Now you might ask, well, these people can be saved. Can these people just seek help? Can there's many options. You are correct. However, these people are so spiritually broken that they do not want help. They don't want to change their lifestyle. And also, these people, they don't want to be saved. But the problem is when you have a society and things online, because these people live through the internet, when you have people that feed into this, these communities I was talking about, these neurodivergent communities. Uh, you know who's a good example of what I'm talking about? Boogie to 988. This is a good example. Okay, if you need a visualization of this, what type of person I'm talking about. These people are in these communities that validate their patheticness, that validate it. These people that like it's okay to be a lazy piece of shit and fucking uh have covert narcissism. It's okay to experience this. So they get validated and they continue living this lifestyle. This is the dangerous thing. And people that brag about being neurodivergent and say it's okay to be not to have issues or be different. I'm not talking about that, but that it's okay to have narcissistic personalities, or it's okay to be bored. It's okay to have a personality disorder and be shitty to everybody. It's okay to be suicidal. You are destroying people's lives by doing this, and this is no different than telling the heroin addict it's like, well, there are people that do that. It's good that you're shooting up. It is no different than telling a suicidal person that it's okay if you pull the trigger. That is what you're saying. It's the same as saying it's okay to pull the trigger. That is what and so these people, they don't realize they're not. They're feeding into these vulnerable people they're manipulating them, essentially. And they are no different morally to groomers. These people are grooming people to ruin their lives. So, like how a groomer, let's say a 42-year-old man that sees a 15-year-old girl, he doesn't do anything, but he keeps his distance. This girl is his friend's daughter, and he gets in the picture more and more. He does things like he helps her out. He always chips in, helps her out. Oh, this 42-year-old man's a great man. He tells her how much he loves her, but doesn't do anything. But then once he turns 18, he, goes right in. Right? But, so these people are the same. Instead of that, they, for a long period, tell this person it's okay you have issues, and it's all right if you don't do anything to fix it. It's all right that you have depression. It's all right that you have social anxiety. It's okay. Keep going. And then, because they're doing that because they want to see somebody be a complete train wreck. So, this neurodivergent stuff, all this stuff is, in my opinion, it is pure evil. And so, yeah. Now I'm going to get into how to master your own universe. So, how to master your own universe. And obviously, I'm mostly targeting Gen Z people, but this also can apply to anybody. Let's say a millennial that has been a NEET since 2006. Alright? Anybody, a middle-aged person. How to master your own universe. Now, I did not write anything down, and because of that, that fits in with what I'm about to talk about. So, how to master your own universe. You, first and foremost, you have to. This is a requirement. This is the number one thing that will save you in every situation, that will cure anxiety, that will cure depression, that will save you in life. Detach from the outcome and embrace failure. Get off on failure. That will save you in every possible scenario. Alright? Detach from the outcome. But what if shh. Detach from the outcome. I will repeat that again. Detach from the outcome. Embrace failure. Embrace failure. Get off on failure. Get so horny for failure. Get so horny. Get off on people that hate you. Get so turned on by it. because it will save you in life. Also, another thing is you every day you wake up. This is what's helped me. Treat every day. Okay, so every day you go through life, do not. You could do anything you want, but do not do things that waste your time. So, what are things that waste your time? Things that are not productive. Okay? You can do anything you want throughout a day, but it has to be productive. It could be anything. So, what are things that are not productive? Things that do not have results and do not. Laying around in bed all day is not productive. You know what's not productive, pretty much. Anything that is considered a time waster, something that's not productive or a waste of time, you should not do. And what I mean by productive, fuck. Testing, testing. Okay. I'm not going to mention the thing, But because y'all will fucking do it. I know you'll fucking do it. You fucking sickos. So I'm not. I was gonna talk about that. There's a tip I have for your everyday goals and stuff. You know, when you work on your goals every day, but I'm not gonna mention it. I will mention this though. Let's say you want to do something like I want to read this book, or I want to start this business, but I'm not in the mood. I will say this. Do something that will get you in that mood. So maybe music or caffeine, or I'll even say if alcohol. If that's what will get you in that mood to do that thing. Approach everything in life as play. And that gets into the whole detachment outcome. Everything you do in life, even the most boring activities, approach it with play. And if something's so boring you can't get anything out of it, invent different ways that will make everything entertaining. So, I'm trying to think of anything else to say. If anybody has questions, I might do a separate live stream depending on each, a question, because this is a very deep topic. I will end this with a video by it's not by him, but it's somebody reading a poem by Charles Bukowski called Roll the Dice. Now, I want you right now, if you're watching this video, live or not, you're probably going to watch this afterwards. I want you to, I'll give you some time. I'll give you some time to manifest everything in this video. Listen carefully, and once the video ends, I want you to follow that path. Your path has to be this for now on. Everything you hear in this video, this is your life mission from here on out. And if you don't want to do that, then don't do it. But if you want to change your life for the good, do everything and manifest and be everything that this video says to do. Okay? I'll give you a little bit of time. Get in a perfect, comfortable position. Maybe close your eyes and just listen. Manifest this. Alright? I'll count to 5. Then I'll count to 5, then I'll start the video, okay? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Your life is your life. Don't let it be clubbed into dank submission. You can't beat death, but you can beat death in life. And the more often you learn to do it, the more light there will be. There are ways out. There is a light somewhere. If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way. It could mean not eating for 3 or 4 days. It could mean freezing on a park bench. It could mean jail. It could mean derision, mockery, isolation. Isolation is the gift. All the others are a test of your endurance, of how much you really want to do it. And you'll do it, despite rejection and the worst odds. And it will be better than anything else you can imagine. If you're going to try, go all the way. There is no other feeling like that. You will be alone with the gods, and the nights will flame with fire. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. All the way. All the way. You will ride life straight to perfect laughter. It's the only good fight there is.
Now I want you, from here on out, to go all the way. I want you to reject the past. Reject every possible outcome. And your only mission in life right now is to accomplish every dream, every goal you have, and to do whatever in this moment that you think you need to do or feel like you want to do deep in your soul. And then after you're done with that, do the next thing that's deep within your soul that you want to do in that moment, and go all the way and complete that objective, accomplish that dream, that goal, until you're actually complete, and then go on to the next one and the next one. Do the same thing over and over till the day you die. And every obstacle is not an obstacle, and every failure is not a failure. Embrace, get off on every single negative thing ever. Turn into a positive. Go all the way. Embrace death. Embrace failure. Embrace it all. And then you'll win at life.